Hey YouTubers, Levi666 back again. Now we're in the 2.1.1 patch. They just nerfed all the blood shards from Kadala, so now everything is super expensive to craft, and you can still only hold a maximum of 500 shards, which is really crappy. My frame rate is absolutely atrocious right now as I'm recording, but we're going to go over, this is a tier 6 build that I've been doing. A lot of people are using firebirds. I'm using firebirds. I wanted to do a build that was different from the typical blizzard, hydra, run around while everything gets dotted up build. So let's go over the gear first. Wand of Woh was the way that I was going with this. Got a really good roll on it with the plus 10% damage and high intel, and then I used that stupid legendary thing that gives you a socket in your weapon. I used that to socket it, and then re-rolled the extra stat for cooldown. Cooldown is really important with the explosive blast because you want as many of these things exploding as possible, and just being able to spam that is the main source of your damage. Got Firebird's boots, pants, chest, and helm and source here. Got 18% on the source, pretty high intel and vite roll. That's all right. Using a two-piece Aug Hilds for the damage reduction and increased damage against elites. Got a cooldown roll on the shoulders there. Just I have the Etlic right now until I can farm for the Hellfire Amulet. So got crit chance and fire damage there. Ring of Royal Grandeur and doing the double unity combo with my follower with the Cannot Die relic. Is pretty. If you're going to be soloing, that's pretty much the only is a must-have item there. Mage Fists. And then I got the one Captain Crimson's here. It has really good defense on it. I do have a handful of other belts. I got a couple Harringtons, a good Taurashas, but just as for the this is just for when I'm doing greater rifts. So there's no chests in greater rifts, so I'll never see that buff from opening the chests, and this is fine. Now, the gems that I'm using Gem of Efficacious Toxin for the poison dot and then the 10% increased damage once you poison. So if you run into a group and then this explodes, they all just got poisoned, and each explosion after that is doing more damage, 10% more damage than it would before. Next one is Bane of the Powerful, extra damage and extra damage towards elites. And then the last one is Bane of the Trapped. Once everything within a 15-yard radius takes 30%, or no, I'm sorry, 22.5% more damage. I say within 15 yards because of the slow effect that it gives you, and we're going to be right up in everybody's faces spamming Explosive Blast anyway. The skills, I'm using Spectral Blade, Flame Blades. Each hit on this increases the damage of your fire spells. Now, if you go here and you look at your fire damage, I got 77% fire damage, which then scales my regular damage here from 917. That shoots it all the way up to 1.6 million. Now, every enemy you hit with these flame blades, that's going to increase that number directly. So if you get your little dot up here, when that says 15, that's increasing your fire damage by 15%. So you're now over the 77% that you were at before. So this is a really must-have skill. I can cast it, while I'm just spamming the explosive blast, and that just keeps upping and upping my damage. Then for your control, you got Black Hole Blazer. It's going to bring everything right into a nice little circle for you, and you can just keep blowing them up. We're using Energy Armor, Prismatic Armor for extra defense, Magic Weapon, Force Weapon for extra damage, using the Chain Reaction for the extra explosions, obviously, and then Teleport Safe Passage for the damage reduction. Using Evocation for cooldowns, Unstable Anomaly as an extra life. When you're in the rifts, dying really sucks because you have to start at the beginning of the level again. So having the Unstable Anomaly that cools down after 60 seconds is really good, and then you have the backup of the Firebird set, which has 300 seconds. So in a Greater Rift, you got 2 extra lives before your death actually means you have to start over, at the beginning of the level that you're at. So, and this usually resets, really, really quickly. If you die, you end up being a little careful afterwards, and the 60-second cooldown on this is really good. Next is Blur for more damage reduction, and then Audacity, 15% damage to everything within 15 yards. Everything is going to be within 15 yards because we're constantly using the explosive blast. Okay, so we're going to jump into some gameplay. It's going to be extremely laggy because of just how bad my video card is when I'm recording. It shoots me down to around 10-15 frames a second, but you'll get the idea here still. Hopefully. Man, this is really bad. But we came into Act 4, I wanted to get like some decent mobs here. Some stuff that's generally hard to kill. God, this is absolutely horrible. I've done videos before and it wasn't nearly this bad. Let's see if we can find an elite pack here somewhere, maybe. But everything dies, pretty quickly. It doesn't take long, to dot them up and to get the Firebird dot on them. Here we go, Aspect of Hatred. That'll work. That'll work as our elite pack. This guy. Now you see it just gets melted. Oh, here's an actual elite. Now that we got our damage buff from Bane of the Trapped. And these guys just die really quickly. So there you go. There's your example. With this is the Rift version that I'm using. Now I'm gonna show you kind of what I do for farming. Since T6 is T6 and it can be difficult at times. You don't always have teleport up to get yourself out of nasty situations, and sometimes death is not possible to avoid. So the changes that I make is, here, let's go. I take out the Gem of Efficacious Toxin, and I swap it with Boon of the Hoarder, which gives you the gold explosion when you kill a guy. And then I switch my belt to Gold Wrap, and this is a good defensive Gold Wrap as well. It gives you armor for 5 seconds equal to the amount of gold picked up. My paragons on this utility, I just have gold find maxed since these other two really don't mean anything for my build. The life on hit can be relevant, but for the most part it's usually not. Movement speed, intel, cooldown reduction, crit damage, then crit chance, armor, resist all, life. It's pretty typical. Everybody knows what they're doing as far as paragons go. Now, what this little combo does, and in my opinion, this combo is game-breaking, because if you can kill T6 monsters, but you can't survive the hits that they put out from ranged or melee, anything, this is a really good combo to use, because even just one little pile of gold will literally almost double your toughness. You'll see right now I'm at 14.5 million toughness. Let's go here. Let's go to a highly populated area here. The Weeping Hollow. And when you have elites with Desecrator, Poison, Lightning, Frozen, the little explosions that happen after you kill them, all that stuff that's a big pain in the ass that would normally kill you, you just don't even have to worry about it. You just bring them all in, they blow up, you pick up some gold. Here, we just picked up a tiny little bit of gold, and we're already at 950,000 toughness. Or, no, sorry, 950 million toughness. It's not uncommon to see, ridiculous numbers. I've gotten up to 3 billion, before. So let's see. Right now we're at 14, or we're down to our 14 million, and you see even just a small stack of. Let's try to just grab. There we go. Just grab 2 small stacks. We're up to 66 million, taking literally no damage from these guys. Let's kill these things and get some more gold on the ground, and let's show you, because. You can see already up to that much toughness. Your armor reduces everything 99.5%, so nothing is ever really going to hurt you. as long as you can kill things, relatively quickly enough to get the drops, and then, the range stuff is just never going to bother you. And it's also a great way of farming for gold. I had about 500 million not that long ago, and I just used it all for crafting gems, because I have about 2,000 marquee gems of each color. Where's an elite? There's an elite. There we go, up to 1 billion toughness right there. Oh, did I not change this? Oops. That's another thing I do. I change a couple skills too, I forgot. I changed this from safe passage, since you don't need it anymore. The damage reduction doesn't really mean anything, so we go to wormhole. Oh, these stupid zombies. Wormhole, and then just for a movement speed bonus after you teleport, I swap Unstable Anomaly for Illusionist. And this is just great for farming if you're going for keys, just regular rifts, anything where gold will drop. This is pretty much the farming build to use. If you're doing Ubers, I would do the same thing that I was using for the Rift build. No gold really drops off anything. Come on. There's elite. There we go. So you just bring them all together, a little bit of gold drops, and you can stand there. I wish it had an FX that would actually hurt. It would do some damage. You can just stand there and just take it. These little piles of gold drops, 735 million defense. But you get the idea there. So yeah, in my opinion, it's hey, a goblin. In my opinion, that's game breaking, because you can just focus pretty much primarily on offensive damage, and then use just one gem and one piece of armor for your defense. Now you see here I'm standing. I'm just going to stand in here, let this stuff explode all over me, take no damage, pick up more gold without even really moving, just because of the pickup radius and my little guy moving around helping pick everything up. Yeah, really, really good spec on that. So there you go, guys. I hope this helps you out as far as getting to T6 and farming T6 to be able to get the gear, to be able to do the better, greater rifts. I haven't really tried too hard as far as the greater rift levels go. I think I did a level 31, and I didn't really, and I finished it within a reasonable amount of time, and I just didn't really try to level the gem more, or the greater rift key more. Right now I've been focusing pretty much on getting all my gems up to rank 25 to get those bonuses, so that way any other characters I play, will get those bonuses without having to level up the gems. Alright guys, thanks for watching the video. I got the phone ringing here, got to answer that. Take care. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe.